Peace, peace. Out here in Louisville with the one and only Evidence. How's the tour been going so far?
Awesome, man. Yeah, having a great time.
Was Canada your first basis? And
I mean, I've done Vancouver and I've done Toronto, but like when you start going in between all that and seeing like the whole Canada, it was a trip I'd never done. I would say like 75% of those places, Saskatoon. Yeah, I don't even want to name it. I mean, Calgary was fucking fire. Edmonton, Victoria on the island, that was nuts. I had done that with Brother Ali before.
Dope.
Montreal, Waterloo. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
Dope.
different.
So 2007, The Weatherman LP came out. We just hit the 11-year anniversary.
Fuck, I'm getting all this
So how do you think you progressed from then to the new album, whether or not?
I think there's big steps. I don't think I realized it as it was happening versus something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pop your head up for a while. After a while, look back and go, wow, okay. But I'm different than a lot of my friends in a sense. A lot of my friends who rap are like real writers in the sense that it's what they wake up and do. They have books on books and duffel bags full of fucking lyrics, and it's because that's what they do. I was never that type. I don't have like that. I don't really keep my rhymes on my phone. I'm kind of like I wake up, I get my coffee, my weed, I go to the music, and then once the music tells me what to write, then I start writing, you know. And so a lot of intricacies and like paying attention to syllables and things like that. I've always been more from the heart rapper, where I didn't trip on that so much. But then as I get older and more experienced and start working, especially producing other people, I'm starting to like, okay, I understand why that's moving the beat like that. You know what I mean? And I want to do something like that. And so like a lot of my ideas writing come from production, which is the trip, you know. But I do feel like I've been using my erase notes, so whatever I write, therefore has to be kind of like checking myself a little bit.
Right.
And listening to friends, listening to alchemists, listening to people, and then hanging around with greatness. You know what I'm saying? There's not a day I'm not around, when I'm at home around Al or whoever's there or whoever's coming through my crib. I'm trying to surround myself with people who are constantly making me jealous, but use that jealousy in a good way, not in a negative way, like inspiring. You know what I mean? And so, the young or old, I can't really tell right now. I like Earl, who's young. I like Rock Marcy, who's old. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not really caught up in a lot of like the shop talk as much anymore, and just kind of like feeling it out.
What's your creative process? Do you constantly
I don't
write?
think Rock Marcy's old, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Or not giving a fuck, basically. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Your creative process, do you always write or do you wait for the beat?
That's what I was saying. I wait for the beat.
Okay.
Just wait for the beat. I mean, my phone has a lot of one-liners, you know, or like something I'll see that make me want to song titles and stuff. But
Right.
yeah, it's the music that guys like always.
Whether or not.
I would say critically my best one so far. I'm trying to top my sales for Cats and Dogs, which was my highest for sales. So it's hard. Might be tough to do that in a declining market, you know, because that came out in 2012 when you could buy CDs at wherever the fuck. You know what I mean? And now it's like few and far between spots where you can do that. So we got some really good first week sales. Surprised us, surprised me, surprised the label, and so there's a lot of incentive. The videos are all doing really good on YouTube, and getting my Spotify and stream numbers up because I never really pushed that. So I'm starting to learn that world and build it. Yeah, a lot of reasons to keep going.
How long did it take you from start to finish to create this project?
This one took a long time, 3 years, because I went through a lot of personal shit in between it, you know. So it was, I wouldn't say it was 3 years of working. If you combine the time, it was probably 10 months, you know, or 8 to 10 months. But unfortunately, I got caught in a lot of starting and gaining momentum, and then something coming up, and felt like I would, oh fuck, you know, I didn't catch that one whim all the way through. So there wasn't like a lot of like high fives and bottle popping at the end of this record. It wasn't that. It was just kind of like work through it till you get it done. Maybe that was a good thing. I'm proud of how I pulled it together. The downside of working for that long is I made probably 30-something songs. So to try to, those are all your babies, to try to figure out what to kill.
You said that a lot of producers don't inspire you. You always shout out to Alchemist. What is it about the Alchemist that you feel like you can get busy over?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Like, if you're a different producer on my album, it's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Like, not just like, oh, word, you know. But I didn't mean it like that. I wrote. It was the first song I wrote for that album, so I hadn't made the album when I wrote that, you know. And yeah, something about him is more motivating to me than a lot of people. He's probably one of my best friends, if not. But I try to separate that. Really, I constantly remind myself of who I'm next to when I chill with him because you know what I mean. Because to me, he's like top 5. You know what I mean? So I gotta remind myself, and that makes me take it serious. But at the same time, I know how he moves and he knows how I move. So the beats I get are according, and there's something about that. It's like a Premier and Guru kind of thing, I think.
You had a project with Lord Steppington.
Yeah,
Is there plans for part 2?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think all the fans would want to know any plans on the Dilated Peoples.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that right now. Rocka's my brother, you know, and Battle is my brother. So, however that works, but I love what they did for my album right now, and working with them to do that was so painless and easy. I just have to figure out a way to trick myself to do that, to make a Dilated, because, you know, we don't hang out every day like we used to. And so to hook up consciously just to make music could feel like a little bit like work, you know, and I just don't want that. I want it to be not realizing it's happening, you know, so you never know. Right, the dope shit is called Huey Briss, and they're out of Long Beach, and he's killing it on the beats right now, you know, and so I'm seeing it all happen. I was there when he was born, you know what I mean? So, yeah, family's growing in different ways.
So what's next for Evidence?
Maybe Step Brothers, maybe more Evidence. Step Brothers thing is weird because we don't, once again, that's just a folder that gets accumulated until it says share with people. So we make a lot of music just in the fact that I go over there. You know what I mean? And he'll be playing a beat and I'll go, wow, and he'll go, yeah, and so I'll start writing and he'll jump, throw something on it, email it to me the next day and wake me up with a verse. You know what I mean? So I think that could just happen, and it will. But I'm trying to build this up right now because I'm feeling the momentum of it. I'm selling shows out locally at home on a bigger, moving up in venue size, which is way inspiring. And Europe and States seem to be opening up for me a little bit. So I think you never quite know. You think you're gonna have it the last time, and things don't line up. You never quite know when they say they're ready. So